Now, continuing on page 6 with Pike's thought, the next aspect of Freemasonry that Pike includes in this conceptualization of a law-based society is that the connection with an individual Freemason as well as Freemasonry with heaven is elaborated on. And how he does this is excellent. He says, now, though Masonry neither usurps the place of, nor does it ape religion, prayer is an essential part of our ceremonies. It is the aspiration of the soul toward the absolute and infinite intelligence, which is the one supreme deity, most feebly and misunderstandingly characterized as an architect. Now, certain faculties of man are directed toward the unknown. Thought, meditation, prayer. The unknown is an ocean of which conscience is the compass. Now, he brings in this ship imagery again with the compass, It's real interesting how he interlaces this in. And we do have our vast reality is what we don't know. Prayer can be a compass through the unknown and gaining the help of the Almighty Architect. Even though that image is feeble at best, it's the one we have. It's the one we can comprehend to exalt our ideas, our aspirations, and our hopes toward the heavens. This is the best we can do at this point. Thought, meditation, prayer are the great mysterious pointings of the needle. It is a spiritual magnetism that thus connects the human soul with the deity. These majestic irradiations of the soul pierce through the shadow toward the light. We are attempting to use the heavenly light to spread out on earth as best we know how. It is but a shallow scoff to say that prayer is absurd, because it is not possible for us by means of prayer to persuade God to change his plans. He produces foreknown and foreintended effects by the instrumentality of the forces of nature, of all of which are his forces. Our own are part of these natural forces. Our free agency and our will are forces. We do not absurdly cease to make efforts to attain wealth or happiness, prolong life, and continue health, because we cannot by any effort change what is predestined. If the effort also is predestined, it is no less our effort made of our own free will, so likewise we pray. Will is a force. Will, the will to do something. That's actually a force. It's very interesting how he puts this. Thought is a force. Prayer is a force. Why should it not be of the law of God that prayer, like faith and love, should have its effects? Man is not to comprehend as a starting point or progress as a goal without those two great forces, faith and love. Prayer is sublime. Orisons that beg and clamor are pitiful. To deny the efficacy of prayer is to deny that of faith, love, and effort. Yet the effects produced when our hand, moved by our will, launches a pebble into the ocean, they never cease. And every uttered word is registered for eternity upon the invisible air. Simply because we may not see the direct effects at this point in time does not mean our faith is in vain, is what he is saying. On page 7, every lodge is a temple, and as a whole and in its details, symbolic. The universe itself supplied man with the model for the first temple reared to the divinity. The arrangement of the Temple of Solomon, the symbolic ornaments which formed its chief decorations, the dress of the high priest, all had references to the order of the universe. And I've written on this quite a bit, as then understood. The temple contained many emblems of the seasons, the sun, the moon, the planets, the constellations, Ursa Major and Minor, the zodiac, the elements, and the other parts of the world. It is the master of this lodge of the universe, Hermes, of whom Kurum is the representative, that is, one of the lights of the lodge. Kurum is Hiram in the legends. For further instructions as to the symbolism of the heavenly bodies and of the sacred numbers and of the temple and its details, you must wait patiently until you advance in Masonry, in the meantime exercising your intellect in studying them for yourselves. That's good advice. Keep on studying. More light is on the way. The more you learn and study, the better you'll be able to comprehend, apprehend, appreciate, and engulf the whole vast concourse of symbolisms and their meanings within Freemasonry. But it's not going to happen just because you become an entered apprentice Mason, then a fellow craft, and then a master Mason. The education goes on beyond that. Way beyond that. Into the York rites, the Scottish rites, further than that even. You're just beginning. And it's a great trip. It's a great journey. So anyway, he says to study and seek to interpret correctly the symbols of the universe is the work of the sage and philosopher. It is to decipher the writings of God and penetrate into his thoughts. This is what is asked and answered in our catechism in regard to the lodge. The idea that life is a school. It's a never-ending learning of greater and greater light and knowledge, truth and peace. A lodge is defined as an assembly of Freemasons. Sure enough, duly congregated, having the sacred writings, square and compass, and a charter or warrant of constitution authorizing them to work. That's what a lodge is. The room or place in which they meet represents some part of King Solomon's temple, is also called a lodge, and is that which we are now considering. It is supported by three great columns: wisdom, force, or strength, and beauty, represented by the master, the senior warden, and junior warden. These are the columns that support the lodge. They organize the work. They give us the goals. They give us the abilities. They organize various different groups of Masons to go and perform different various works for various different people in need. I mean, they are the essence of the machinery of helping us get the work done. And the work is spreading of the light and giving relief to mankind. I mean, that's the essence of Freemasonry right there. It's a powerful ideology to actually practice. Not just talk about or think about, but to go do. It's like the law. You do the law. You don't just talk about it and think about it. No, you put it into effect. That's the idea. It's awesome, man. It is very interesting that even the Apostle Paul said, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man desecrate the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are." So in the microcosm, each individual is a temple. We gather and meet in a temple, and we share that light of the temple, the work of relief to the poor, the work of preparing individuals, communities, nations for freedom and maintaining that freedom. That's the work. The freedom to worship God where, how, or what you may. The freedom to pick what job you want to do, which book you want to read, what belief you want to embrace. All of those freedoms is exactly what Freemasonry fights for. And it's based upon the lodge, both as individuals, as the group, and the building, of course, is the symbol of the universe, so that we're doing the universal work for all peoples, not just ourselves. This is not for us. It is for the betterment of society. It's a great way to live.